We are now on air. Time for a total takeover.
It's finally here. Welcome to a new episode.
It's about to go down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get up out your seats. No, I'm kidding. Good morning, everybody. Once again, it's yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. Social Conservative, the DA, the prosecutor, the independent hip-hop musician, member of Big Fat Mallet. And speaking of independent hip-hop artists, yours truly, Melodic, will be performing at 10 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, early in the morning for Open Streets Pittsburgh, Sunday, May 29th. I'm hoping it's some decent weather. I mean, I got to worry about rain or anything like that. But, homeboy, you know how I get down. If you go look at my YouTube page, my Melodic YouTube page, you know how I get down, and you know what to expect. Hip-hop, soul, and jazz, baby. But, enough with the self-promotion. First and foremost, giving out of the garden to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to see another day, blessing me with the breath of life. Excuse me. Blessing me with the ability to get out of my bed and with no pain. Allowing me to see all my loved ones alive and well. And I'm hoping that God is blessing you in the same way this morning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, usually I have at least a couple topics I want to talk about today, but today is just going to go off the dome. I'm just going to speak my mind and just speak on things I want to talk about. And this continuation of the indoctrination of our children in schools right now is really starting to bother me. And we had a talk about this in my household a couple days ago. And it almost seems as if, why in the world do these individuals in academia, as far as grammar schools across the country, colleges and universities, you know what? You're at a point where you can make up your mind and do what you need to do. And you should be well versed in many other, but then again, you're fully brainy, fully formed until you're 26. But for K through 3, I'm thinking K through 8, it should be just completely and utterly hands off in regards to this, secret indoctrination of our children. It's not even secret anymore. I mean, I know they're having these secret meetings to try and pull people into the LGBTQ plus community. That's happening. We know that's happening. But K through 8, can we just learn reading, math, English, science, social studies? Do we need to bring in, do you feel like a boy or do you feel like a girl? Do you feel like a girl? Do you feel like what the hell is that going to do when it comes to that individual passing that grade, getting the essential tools, basics, and fundamentals needed to continue on through academia? What in the world does you asking a boy, does he want to be a girl, or you asking a girl, do they want to be a boy? It is sick. It is evil. I don't understand the mentality of these so-called adults in the room. Why do you want to take these children, not adults, children down this path? Are your lives so unfulfilled that you have to do this to our children? Or is it just that you're just an evil individual? Which one is it? Uh-oh. I'm just gonna turn my ass around. God damn it. Oh, we got a fire or something going on there. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. What in the world is going on in regards to these individuals out here indoctrinating our children, thinking that some way and some, come on, dude, you gotta go. What are you doing? Truck ain't that damn big. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be yelling here, but got turned around, fire department closed off the street, and I'm going this alternate route, and this truck thinks that he's in a freaking 18-wheeler, thinking he needs all this room to get around this person. Good grief. But anywho, sorry, I ain't gonna go off on that tangent. I apologize. That tangent was not needed, so I apologize profusely. But back to the topic at hand. But hey, this is what happens when you go live here in the Political Heat Remote Studios, aka the blue Nissan Versa. But back at the topic at hand. I know I'm talking to the choir. I know most of these episodes that people listen to of said show are mostly conservatives. But I honestly do want to converse and have some conversations with those on the left, Democrats, the mainstream media, and those who somehow support this let's talk about sex, baby, to K through 3-year-olds. K through 3rd graders and up. Like I said, is there a line that can be drawn? Obviously, in high school, sex ed is taught, okay? It was taught in my school, but it's not the sex ed that they're teaching now. Not even close. So, I'm on the fence as to when the lower levels of education, K through 12, obviously, K through 8 is out of it, okay? That's just, I'm staunchly, obviously, 7th and 8th, you're going through some stuff, you're starting to hit puberty, I get it. So if someone wants to have some discussions about that, someone wants to have discussions about, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me this road down here is closed too? Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm 49 years old, and I'm wondering to myself, for those in my age bracket, was any of this, and I mean any of this, talked about, promoted, slammed and shoved in our faces during your K through 12 years? No. So why? I understand that we live in a different era, a different age, and a different mindset. But having individuals being forced to be it's almost as if, okay, this is who I am, this is what I represent, so I am going to force your children to go down this path. That is straight evil. I am a Christian. Of course, I am going to evangelize and speak the gospel of Christ to anyone that I can possibly speak to. But am I going to try and force an individual, shove it down their throats, and demand, or if they don't, be brought up on charges? Is that how it's going to be going forward? I know you heard about the story in Wisconsin. Young lads who said, you know what? I'm not down with this pronoun stuff. I'm calling you by your name, or I'm calling you by this, or this is how I roll. Because number one, it shouldn't even be, why Title IX is even being thrown around as an excuse for these individuals that they can just say, okay, if a person is not called by their proper pronoun, that you can be brought up on sexual harassment charges. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. 5th graders who don't want to use a pronoun or is not using the proper pronoun is being brought up on sexual harassment charges. What the is going on? Yeah, I said it. What is going on? And as I'm sitting here in traffic, I'm thinking to myself, first of all, this traffic is starting to piss me off. That's number one. Number two, I'm getting heated over this topic, and my blood pressure's going up. So I said, maybe I should just bring it down a notch, ladies and gentlemen. Is that something that I should do? So let me do a woosah and get my mind and my feelings right. It's something else, ladies and gentlemen. It is a sight to see. Not even sure where to even go from there. I've had so many interruptions during my portion of today's show. I think I'm just going to end it, because obviously the powers that be don't want me to finish today. So, may God continue to bless you and yours. May He keep you and your family safe. Until next time, God bless. Peace.
Carl Cameron, I want to start with you. And I want to ask you what goes on. I mean, obviously, a mass shooter is responsible for the violence and the heinous acts that the mass shooter committed. It is also true that the ideology left in the mass shooter's screed mirrors the ideology championed by Tucker Carlson. What happens at Fox News when something like this happens?
I can't even imagine. It's partly why I ended up getting out of there. It really is kind of horrible to think that journalists with national and international capacity are putting together this type of nonsense. I think the president did a great job. I wish he had done a lot of this a lot sooner, and we need a lot more from the left and the middle. And we got to watch out, because the Republicans have become the purveyors of misinformation. And when our two-party system is broken like that, democracy is seriously in trouble. The president acknowledged that. It's time to actually start doing things and maybe taking some names and putting people in jail.
Well, ever since someone inside the Supreme Court broke centuries of tradition and law by leaking Sam Alito's draft opinion, in which he argued for overturning Roe v. Wade, abortion enthusiasts have harassed Supreme Court justices and their families at home. They've attacked police officers in L.A. They firebombed a pro-life group in Wisconsin. On Sunday, Planned Parenthood held a, quote, pro-abortion protest at the Arizona State Capitol. Remember safe, legal, and rare? No. Not anymore. They're just for it now, and they're saying it. The journalist Drew Hernandez attended that protest and shot some pretty shocking footage of the people who were there. Here's a sample.
Keep your laws out of my Keep your laws out of my
It doesn't make sense. You're contradicting yourself.
Hey, baby.
Coat hanger Dodger. Coat hanger Dodger. That means your mom stuck a coat hanger up her hooey and tried to get rid of you. But she failed.
Abolish abortion. Please.
Roe v. Wade!
Roe v. Wade!
Roe v. Wade!
Roe v. Wade!
You guys want to stand up? You want to stand up?
To get into work.
We're for women's rights.
To get into work.
You've killed no matter what. Every month when you have a menstrual cycle, you're killing. Yes, it is. It's DNA.
You don't have to be a religious person to see that there's a spiritual component to all of this.
It's almost surreal to see January 6th, to learn more about the coup behind the scenes. And then that person is still the one who led that all, is being celebrated by the right. And there's no accountability at all. We're almost 500 days from January 6th. There's no accountability for Donald Trump at all. Do you believe there ever will be accountability either for his role in January 6th or for what we saw as a coup? I mean, he plotted a coup.
There has to be, Dean. There has to be. And I will tell you, I'm frustrated with how slowly the Department of Justice is moving on this. I know that the Attorney General is a cautious man, but this is a 5-alarm fire, a 10-alarm fire. We had an attempted coup and all the information has come out. And I'm sure that there are things going on behind the scenes that I don't know about, but the country needs to see accountability. If we are to restore trust in government, if we are to restore trust that our democracy actually even exists and that people can be held accountable. I had a constituent come to a meeting I was doing the other day, and she said, I don't understand how I am vilified if I don't pay my taxes, but Donald Trump can get away with a coup attempt on the United States election and nothing happens to him. And she said, and I don't earn very much, you know? So, I mean, this is, I think this is a really interesting, well, it's not, that's a bad word. That makes it sound intellectual. This is a true disaster. And the Department of Justice and Merrick Garland need to move more quickly to really hold Donald Trump accountable for the damage he's done to the country and for his coup attempt. And it needs to be done quickly so that it doesn't run up against the next election and then people see it as a political move. Really, very, very important.
Merrick Garland, you mentioned, he's now in your old job as Attorney General. There have been critics of him who say that he isn't being aggressive enough around the prosecutions regarding January the 6th. Do you think that's right?
No one knows. I mean, you know, I have great faith in Merrick and in the people at the Justice Department. We won't really know how aggressive they have been until they are before a camera and announcing a decision, either to indict certain people or not indict certain people. But here's my prediction. At some point, people at the Justice Department, perhaps that prosecutor in Atlanta, are going to have to make a determination about whether or not they want to indict Donald Trump. There is going to be.
Would you do it?
Well, I think there's going to be sufficient factual information, and I think that there's going to be sufficient proof of intent. And then the question becomes, what's the impact of such an indictment? I'm an institutionalist. Mm-hmm. My initial thought was not to indict the former president out of concern of how divisive it would be. Mm-hmm. But given what we have learned, I think that he probably has to be held accountable.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Yes. Don't you worry about a thing. Melodic is scared, situation fear, anxiety high, like the infrastructure, alcohol or paper, but I can induct you into the rate of hip-hop soul. Feeling satisfied, now lose control. Lo and behold, this musical originator keeping things close to the frame. Let me maintain proper order. Signing you for consent. Keep thinking that you're not consent. Further in the limit, this verbal taskmaster. Thinking in terms of the former, not the latter. These verses splatter, so it won't conceal. One cold out is keeping it real. Bring in the calm before the storm. Please take a seat as I transform. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing, darling. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing. From morning to evening, sunlight to moonlight, making sure this flow is tight, so you can wrap it up in the present with the ribbon. Not all again, never losing our religion. Better yet, I'll call it on reinforcements. Doesn't matter what floor you can enter in the court with. Pleading my case to let the music get into it, your bloodstream. Ready in the mainstream. Don't pitch, cause it's not a dream. Forced to come clean, but my name's not J. Fruit. The damage up, staring out your calendar, changing intervals, keeping you off balance. Overdoing your rules with challenges. Now behold, the flow that's been missing. Bringing hip-hop back to its beginning. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing, darling. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing. Invisible to the eye, while my big jumps leaps and bounds, knocks off the ground. Never look at the rebound and drive on fourth night. Always ripping in the stress when it's in sight. Disengage, turning the page, writing down books to release the rage. The frustration, sleeping the nation. Internal warfare, taught not to care. We got to realize what's at stake. Gotta let it cook, then you piece the cake. Don't sign anything that might come your way. I'm looking to sway your opinion. Let's convene on a higher level. Make us a little, but I never settle for anything less than the best. Coming out the speakers, my goal is to reach you. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing, darling. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, cop the CD, y'all. Straight from the soul. Don't work, be proud of the thing. Get the CD. You don't have to worry about a thing.